For all his sons and his daughters won't fill the cities with faces. Iniquities of they father, bloodthirstiest of our nation. Not for living water, waiting to put that work in. Hamashiach give us that order, prepare slaughter. For all his sons and his daughters won't fill the cities with faces. Iniquities of they father, bloodthirstiest of our nation. Not for living water, waiting to put this work in. Hamashiach give us that order.
No, we didn't. No. Our women. First, get that in Deuteronomy 28:55. This is how the scripture said we felt about our women, or she just takes care of herself. No, you out of your mind. Our women don't have to do nothing. Right. Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 56.
Go ahead.
The tender and delicate woman among you.
We looked at our women as tender and delicate. You said that's not you? Yeah, that's not talking about you. Go ahead.
Which would not venture to set the sole of her feet upon the ground.
For what?
For delicateness and tenderness.
Listen, we didn't even want our women to set their feet on this dirty ass ground. So that's how tender and delicate they was to us.
But a child, but that's not delicate. You have to, that's not delicate.
What we're talking about is that we look at them as tender and delicate people, so that even when they have to go through something drastic, like childbirth, we wouldn't even adventure that they set their foot upon the ground. That's how much care, concern, and love that we have for them.
That's right.
Do we treat our women like that now? Guess what? God said that was going to happen. That was going to, matter of fact, finish it. The tender and delicate woman, which would not adventure to set the sole of her foot upon the ground for tenderness and delicateness. Read.
Her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom.
Her eye was going to be evil towards her husband. Read.
Toward her son.
Toward her son. Read.
And toward her daughter.
And toward her daughter. Read.
And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet.
Ain't that, doesn't that sound like our lives? Of what our parents do? It says even the young one that cometh from between her feet. You know what that's talking about? Abortion. They gonna kill the baby.
Okay. Giving birth.
No. A woman giving birth does not mean that her eye is evil towards her child.
Oh, I would see.
Right? But wouldn't an abortion be an evil eye towards a child?
Yeah.
Now even if they actually delivered the child.
So how many children are unwanted and abused around the world?
Again.
I mean,
We just read where it says her eye shall be evil towards her husband, towards her son,
but why?
towards her daughter, and towards the one that come from between her knees. The one in the womb and the one that she's delivered. Her eye was going to be evil towards them because as a result of us not following the law, statutes, and commandments, it creates this perpetual cycle of dysfunction.
Yeah.
This is the result of it, right? Jump up to 54.
I'm not a person of color, but
Verse 54.
But what? You grew
I
up what?
grew up with a schizophrenic, bipolar mother. Had shock, and all of us kids left skate as fast as we could. But my sister is an ex-heroin addict, and she sold drugs, she prostituted, all of that stuff. She lived on the street, and she did all the stuff. So we didn't learn from my mother. I only
You want to know something funny? You said your mother was schizophrenic and bipolar? What is
There's actual terms for it.
I was just about to say, when it's a white woman, they have a term for it. They don't give black women that same respect. They don't give black women that same. They don't give black women that excuse.
I'm sure my mom had those women, but she didn't go to the doctor.
Well, even then, even if they went, they weren't gonna diagnose or if they did, it was a way in which to try to take you away, or to try to prescribe her with some sort of medication that's going to, psychologically damage her.
It does damage people.
Saying all of that to say, we go through those things all the time. You see what I'm saying? All the time. That's our life. A schizophrenic and bipolar parent.
Yeah. It seems normal.
It's normal. That's our life.
Yeah.
And again, the Bible said that will happen to God's chosen people. This is one reason or one element to us drawing this correction. I'm saying that you're not a descendant of the children of Israel. You're not a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
144?
No. Not 144, just the descendants of Israel, period. Now, the 144,000 will come from Israel, but those will be warriors. The 144,000 will be men.
Right. They'll be men?
It'll be men.
But can I know about that too?
Yeah.
I want to know about that because I was thinking, I didn't know it was like gender. Somehow, anybody can be 144,000.
Well, you got to understand, what is 144,000 going to do?
I don't really know specifically.
Yeah, we hear these things a lot, and we start just embellishing on what we feel like they mean.
Yeah.
The 144,000 is the army of God that's going to be built up to bring judgment back to this place.
That's right.
We can't feel.
So a woman can't do that. Because we're not from.
See, we never.
No, I'm just.
Hold on,
that's
hold
just
on,
me
hold
saying
on.
that.
I was
No,
about to say. Yeah, no. Don't put that on me.
Tinder,
I was
stuff
just,
like that.
I was just about to say.
We're soft.
Remember how we feel about our women.
Yeah.
Tender and delicate and precious. We're not gonna send something tender, delicate, and
So
precious.
y'all, like, we're putting life on the line for y'all.
It's not. No. It's not about that. It's that. That's we lay our lives down for you.
Yeah.
We don't need you to do that for us. We the ones that are protecting and providing and putting our lives on the line.
You
No.
don't have someone like that. You become independent. I'm independent.
No, you don't become independent.
I do.
Well, excuse me. Let me correct myself. You're right. Somebody like you becomes independent. Somebody like this woman here, she's bred to be independent. It's a difference. It's a difference.
But you're going through life. I had to do this independent. I couldn't wait for someone or a man to come do something for me, so I had to learn to do it.
Sure. But that's the system. That's the system. What's your ethnic background?
100% European.
I'm saying from where? From where?
England,
Ooh.
Ireland,
Ooh.
Scotland,
Ireland, Scotland.
Ooh.
Germany.
Ooh.
France.
Ooh.
I'm a height 59 American.
Oh my God!
That's
I'm
pure.
talking about. She's across the board.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She's across the board. In the case of your Irish ancestry, we find the defendant guilty. In the case of your English descendant, we find the defendant guilty.
Why? I just want to understand.
We'll get to it. We're dealing with this right here. I know, right? Again,
Because I'm of those
Again.
ethnicities, I'm mad.
there's an army being built up that's going to bring judgment to this place. That's going to be conducted by men, right? After that, we're going to bring our women into our own land. We're going to reestablish our dominance. We're going to reestablish our rulership, and we're going to rule the entire planet Earth in righteousness.
That's right.
Under our King, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, real name Yahushua. Keep reading that, verse 50, jump to 54 now. We read about the women. Let's read about the men. Go ahead.
So that the man that is tender among you and very
Because
delicate.
the man was tender and delicate as well. That's the way that we were supposed to care for one another. Right? Go ahead.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Do you think that we treat each other with tenderness and delicateness?
Not everyone.
No. Most of us don't.
Yeah.
It's more of us that don't than there are that do.
Yeah.
This is why we out here searching for one. We out here searching one by one. We ain't gonna get a crowd of people that's just gonna say, "Oh yeah!" Nah, we want what they call the pick of the litter, right? The creme de la creme, the diamond in the rough. Go ahead.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
So his eye was gonna be evil towards his woman. To his brother, and towards the wife of his bosom. Read.
And toward the remnant of his children.
And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall what?
Which he shall leave.
He was gonna leave them. Was you raised in the house with your dad? My dad left. That's the general story of a lot of our people.
I've had like 5.
But if my dad had to say, he would say it wasn't his fault. He would say my mom kept him away.
Remember though, it's not whether or not whose fault it is. It's the fact that it would happen. And when we read 54, it says the man's eye was going to be evil towards the woman, and then 56 it says the woman's eye was going to be evil towards the man. So if Pops could be right,
my mom's eye was evil towards him,
and that's why she kept him away. But come on, man. Listen. If you ever just get on your phone and say, "Man, the streets of downtown San Diego is just getting tore up by this madman," it's probably me, because my damn child's mother is trying to keep me away from him. I'd tear this city up before anybody would keep me away from my child.
You're right. That's how I feel. That's why I still got trauma, towards him too.
See what I'm
I
saying?
can't really forget him fully. And my mom either.
But here's the thing though. They were ignorant.
I know, but it's still hard.
It is. But here's the thing. You're gonna mature. It's okay. There's nothing that I'm telling you that you just gonna, at a snap of a finger, you're just gonna get it. We plant the seeds.
I know.
We
You
plant
plant
the
a lot
seeds.
of seeds in me. I'm gonna go home and talk to God. Like,
Absolutely.
like,
Absolutely. But we
oh my
plant,
gosh.
we plant the seed for you to go from this conversation and to say, damn, I'm really trying to hold my parents to a standard that they would have never matched. They would have never lived up to it
People like
because they didn't have it.
It was never gonna happen. That
It
way.
was never gonna happen. Again, they try to teach us things to be better than them, not understanding that is counterproductive work.
Sometimes.
But we gotta give them something to live up to. Your kids is always gonna pass you.
Well, I can't look up to my mother and my father, but I forgive them both of them. I don't forget what they did, but I forgive them because I don't want hatred in my heart. When I pass, I don't want to have hatred in my heart.
I don't think there's anything wrong with hatred. I mean, it just gotta be placed in the right. It's gotta be
Yeah, we were just talking
placed
about
correctly.
hate.
You see what I'm saying? It's gotta be placed correctly. You don't have to accept what your parents did, but you have to forgive them for not knowing. And then guess what? Sometimes, which is what everybody up here had to do, you had to become your parents' teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried. My mom don't talk to me.
Don't worry about it. You're 23. 23.
I'm it's 70. I'm
Yeah,
still
you're
learning
23. You
things.
know what I mean? Like, trust me. Your ability to hold a grudge is not gonna last.
My mom's ability to
Well,
hold
we
grudge
did my mustard.
set me off. I
I
didn't
know.
want to stop talking to her.
I know. Watch how God works though. Just watch. One thing we have to have as people, as believers, as faithful, is patience.
Yeah. That's hard to learn.
The scripture said, let patience have her perfect work. Right? Because it's a perfect thing. And when we execute and display patience, you'll be surprised at things that God will reveal unto us, what he will give unto us, and it ain't gonna stress us out to wait for. Right? Go ahead.
Verse
I'll have
50,
Yes, go ahead.
verse 55. So that he will not give any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat,
Go ahead.
because he have nothing left in him in the siege and in the straightness wherein thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy
The
gates.
straightness is like a distressed place, right? After we were seized and after we were put in distress, we had nothing left. As quiet as it's kept, when your dad say, well, your mom kept you away from me, it was a selfish thing. He accepted not having to have that responsibility. And I don't know what your dad did, but I'm willing to guess he probably didn't he wasn't this rich dude. He probably didn't have much to give you. And probably subconsciously had this plan to say, let me go to get my stuff together and then I'm gonna stick it to her mother and go and I'm gonna be able to provide more, and it just probably never happened. See what I'm saying? Because our people typically don't have anything to give our children. And then we take on the same thing and we have nothing to give them but drama.
And that's what that's what my dad's fighting about. Let me just talk about my dad real quick. I don't know why I want to talk about it,
Go ahead, tell about your dad.
he's going through that right now. And right now, he's feeling some type of way because, lots of my brothers, they don't talk to him no more, and stuff like that. And he thinks it's because, they don't love him and they don't have a connection, but it's not really that. It's because they don't really know him. And to come back, want a relationship with somebody that you don't know at this point is kind of hard. And he don't know how to do it. He don't know how to do it either. That's the thing.
And that's a hard thing to do. But it's worth it.
He's not gonna know. He's not gonna know. And guess what? Do you think his ability to know is going to be? Do you think his capability of knowing is going to be higher by you not being around, or do you think it's going to be lower? People don't understand, like, the way in which we respond to things that's not happy or pleasant to us, especially dealing with people, we don't even realize we give them excuses to continue to be how they are. See what I'm saying? In your honest opinion, do you think your dad is just absolutely a piece of shit?
I don't believe he's a piece of shit, but I believe he has piece of shit tendencies.
He has piece of shit tendencies, but you don't believe that he's just from the heart a piece of shit.
No, I believe he tried.
He tried. You have to give him something to keep trying for.
Yeah, I think that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're limiting the things that he's going to try with. For example, right? Your brothers and even you said, I'm struggling with even, forgiving him for the things that he did. If all he ever has to do is try to reach out and communicate, that's all he'll ever do.
That's all he is trying to do.
Think about it. It's like getting a job. I can call 5 companies a day. If I don't never get a job, I'll never go and actually have to do anything. I can sit on my ass at home and call and on my phone fill out applications. What I'm saying is that
you learn every day.
give your dad something to do. Give him opportunity to earn your trust back, to earn your forgiveness. That's fair. But if you cut him off and you don't communicate and you don't want to talk to him, you're leaving him stagnant.
Yeah.
He has nothing to do other than, hey, baby girl,
can I? Like he doesn't have a purpose, but I talk to him.
Yeah.
But nobody else
does. And again, it starts with you. Maybe it's going to be through you that he's going to be able to prove himself, and then everybody else can get on board.
Yeah, that's what I really hope.
Sure,
That's why I really hope. Because he just lost his first son, and now he's really messed up about it.
Yeah. And because guess what? Now there's things that he didn't make right on, or maybe he wanted to do better, XYZ, maybe start kicking himself in the ass about maybe with him not doing those things is what contributed to it. You never know. Just the guilt we put on ourselves because we're loathsome people. We wallow on our own stupor like, it's another vice. It's another thing to get addicted to with depression. Depression is addictive. Huh? It feels depression. It feels like where you're supposed to be, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it feels good, but then, it just feels bad after a while. I think that's what my dad did.
What you got? In 1 Timothy. Now here's the thing. That's where it says, when it says from the sole of the foot to the top of the head, there's no soundness in it. It says the whole head is sick and the heart, which is your mind, is faint, is weak. That's why we can fall into things like that and it's hard for us to get out. Because we have no ambition, we have no strength to the way that we think.
And his vice is alcohol.
Right? Watch this.
2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. For God hath not given us a spirit of fear.
The Lord says he didn't give us a spirit of fear. So
Got it.
that spirit you had to take on the responsibility and the role of a prophet is the same type of fearlessness, relying on God that you have for everything in life. Everything. Don't compartmentalize that courage and that faith and that strength that you get from God, right? Because he didn't give us the spirit of fear, but of what? But of power. He gave us the spirit of power. And you being a woman, you have all the power to incubate, to develop, and to grow a whole human being inside of you.
That incubation period, that's straight.
Oh, it's an incubation period, but again, I'm going to tell you this too, though. The idea of what goes into that or what that looks like is trauma too, because find somebody that you can have this with that's going to be supportive of you, because it's actually a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I see the beauty.
Me and my son's mother were great during her pregnancy, and it was great. It was afterwards when we couldn't get it done. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But during it was great, and I always think about let me find somebody else I can have this experience with, because it's fun, right? Go ahead.
And of love.
The Lord didn't give us a spirit of fear. He gave us the spirit of power and of love. And that spirit that you came up with when you first start talking to us, so I'm just ready to just spread this love around. Come on, man, that child, it's a child out there that deserves that love.
I spread that love too. I guess you guys open my mind a little bit. I'm open.
Yeah, as long as you crack that door open, as long as it's a little light that can peek through now.
Stop learning.
It's like
Never
this.
stop.
It's always been
Let that light peek through
It's
now.
fair.
Right? Go ahead.
And of a sound mind.
And of a sound mind. And that word sound mind, it is in the Greek. Somebody look it up real quick, the actual Greek word of it. But what it means is, it means being able to control your impulses, having self-control. Kind of going into that weed.
Yeah, that's an impulse that I cannot control at this time.
But recognize you
know
have
that.
the power to do so.
trying.
You got the power to do so. No. Get the Greek word. Okay. Greek word. Sophronismos.
And admonishing or calling of soundness to mind to moderation, self-control.
Moderation and self-control.
Yeah, I don't have the self-control part of that.
See what I mean? These are the things you work on. Once you work on those things and you develop a level again, raise your self-esteem. You're gonna be not only willing, but not only comfortable, but you'll be willing to take on things that you probably was like, I don't want to do that. It's a whether again you want to call it this or not, it's a fear. Anything that you ain't willing to just go tackle with fearlessness, it's a fear. You don't have that.
I'm scared to live without weed. It's like, you know, because it's like, yeah, it helps like numb certain stuff, you know?
Yeah, I know. Listen, I was a chimney. You know what I'm saying? Oh, trust and believe. Morning, noon, night, snacks.
Yeah.
Listen, all day. That's what it was. You wake up to the weed, you go to sleep to the
But it makes
weed,
you irresponsible.
you eat to the weed.
Well, I'm
No.
responsible.
I was a functioning weed head.
Yeah, that's me.
That's what I needed to get my day started.
Wow.
I needed weed to
I
be
need
responsible.
Yeah, that's me. You know?
know?
Yeah, that's why it's hard. It's like, can I really be without it? Like, it's kind of
Yes,
weird.
you can.
And I know I can, but it's just like, dang.
Yes, you can, and I'm gonna tell you this.
Probably what this life looks like.
Listen, life looks great.
Right.
Life looks clear.
Yes.
Life looks secure.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And again, give me Deuteronomy 30. Deuteronomy 30. It started like 12, 13. I want to get to the point. I want to get to the point. Because 15 is I said before you this day. So start 11.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 11. For this commandment which I command thee this day,
This commandment that God commands us this day, read.
it is not hidden from thee,
It's not hidden. This is not something that you gotta go and dig up somewhere. The Lord says you ain't gotta go to the heavens to find it. You ain't gotta go into the depths of the earth to find it. It's here, right in front of us. We just have to accept it when it's presented. Go ahead.
neither is it far off.
Go ahead.
It is not in the heaven
Read.
that thou shouldest say, who shall go up for us to heaven?
See, the only way we're gonna understand God, the only way we're gonna understand what He wanted, His purpose and His way, we gotta send somebody up to. I'm not God. We can't go up there and get it. Right? Go ahead.
And bring it unto us that we may hear it and do it.
It's right here in front of us. We ain't gotta send nobody nowhere. It's right here. Read.
Neither is it beyond the sea,
It's not beyond the sea. You ain't got to go on this voyage or this exploration, this expedition, right? To go find it. It's right here. Go ahead.
that thou shouldest say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it unto us,
Read.
that we may hear it and do it.
Read.
But the word is very nigh unto thee in thy mouth.
Real quick. Those things are not necessary for us to hear this word and to do this word and these commandments that He commands us back at that time, and He's still commanding us today, right? Go ahead. Read that last, the top of the verse that you just read.
Verse 14.
Uh-huh.
But the word is very nigh unto thee
The word nigh means near. The word is very near unto us. Read.
in thy mouth
In our mouth. Read.
and in thy heart,
And in our heart, meaning our mind. Go ahead.
that thou mayest do it.
That thou mayest do these things. Read.
See, I have set before thee this day
I have set before you this day. Go ahead.
life and good,
Life and good. Go ahead.
and death and evil.
And death and evil. The commandments that is presented before us is life and good, death and evil. What we just read to you about the woman or the man's eye being evil towards his woman and the woman's eye being evil towards her man, that's the evil that comes with not following it. There are also blessings that come with following it. And that's that our own land, our dominance, our righteousness. You see how black people run the earth now. We just don't monopolize off of it.
Yeah.
We push the envelope of influence, but then we're allowing somebody to influence us. No, we should be the head, and the oil should drip down from us. It's not that way now. We're more so at the bottom, and they're siphoning our influence to make money off of it.
I can see it.
So that blessing is us taking our rightful position above, which is what we was talking about earlier about racism. We are racist as hell. God is racist.
That's right.
God is not a bigot.
Oh, come on.
He's Come on, Ellen, what you talking about?
Oh, don't be judgy. Don't be judgy.
I can be judgy, and she does look like Ellen. She don't look like Ellen. She don't look like Ellen. You know you look like Ellen. The big ass glasses. Shut up. You know you look like Ellen. She doesn't love us. She just flicked us off.
I love you.
You know you. Anybody ever told you you look like the dude from Willard? Huh? I'm your God. You man.
We send that right back to you. Don't be flicking me off.
We ain't tripping on her. She got mad because her friend really looked like Ellen. She looked like Ellen. Right? Now here's the thing. Did you hear what she reacted to? I said God is not a bigot. She said, ah.
Yeah.
Well damn, do you want him to be a bigot?
Yeah. why
Cool.
would you say that?
The way in which we've seen racism displayed, or how people have treated people because they are racist, has been what we have found to be a problem. But them feeling like they're superior, they should feel that way. They should feel that way. It's called a competitive nature. Simple. You call yourself an American?
Yep.
When the Americans send people wherever the Olympics are, aren't they trying to win?
Well, yeah.
Aren't they trying to establish that they're the best country?
I guess I think that's true.
When America goes to war with another country, are they going over there to establish equality? Because nowhere in life is equality cool. That's stupid. Stupid. Everybody wants an advantage. Everybody wants an edge. Everybody wants something over the other.
Yeah, I just want to live. And
Well, I'm glad that you're not my God, and I'm glad you don't give the instructions of life. Because I don't want to live that way.
And
I just said I'm glad you're not my God, and I'm glad you don't create the instructions and the nature of life. There is a superior. Here's my thing.
I have a loving God.
I'm
That's
sure
what
you
I
do.
think of it.
Yeah, but your God is not the God of the Bible, so have that. You feel like everybody is equal.
As far as human beings, but
What do you mean as far as human beings? How are human beings equal?
they're created by God.
But he created people so drastically different from one another.
Well, that's different.
That means they're not equal. Why is everybody not created the same?
Well, because your environment, your
Environment. There you go with that. There you go with that science.
no, okay, and the influences from other people. You learn.
Why are
That's not what
some?
makes us
Thank you.
That's not what makes us equal.
That's one of the things that makes us unequal. Because you say influences.
People
That
have
means
different
one person is
education
influencing.
levels,
Do you
belief
feel?
systems.
Do you feel like if one person influences the other, then that is equality?
No,
Who has more of an advantage, the influencer or the influenced?
well, the influence, if they let the influences do it.
What do you mean if they let it? Influence is not based off of what you
No,
allow
but
somebody. It's based off of what
It
you're
is.
drawn
If
to.
someone's trying to tell you to do something,
That means they're not an influence. Come on.
Influencers, isn't like someone that you aspire to be like?
Thank you. That's something that you don't have control over. It's something that you're drawn to. If you just have the ability to inspire, or if you have the ability to get someone to pay attention to you, that's against your own will. That's influence. Say it again.
but that does happen.
So does that make
much in this world?
that makes the influencer above the person being influenced?
Oh, I just figured.
You said you don't think so? There's listen.
I don't think.
Hold on. Well, you don't have kids, so it's hard to give you this example. But you hold on, no. But you've been a kid yourself. Has anybody ever told you don't let other people bad people influence you?
No, I've had my father say, use your own mind.
Have you ever had anyone tell you not to let bad people influence you? When your dad said have your own mind, what did he mean? Why did he tell you that?
Not to swallow whole what everyone tells you.
Not to what?
To swallow whole. Everything people tell you.
Right?
To use my own mind, make up my own decision.
And to not be a what?
Not to be a bigot.
To not be a what?
Be a bigot.
No. Well, to not be a follower.
Sometimes,
Is it okay to be a follower?
in some situations,
Is so?
not all.
Huh?
Not all.
Not all. Okay. So if at the times when you are a follower, are you equal to the leader? I can't have a conversation with you because you're just not being real.
Well,
The follower is not equal to the leader. That's the purpose of it being a leader. That means I'm ahead and you're behind.
Yeah, the follower wants to
You
learn
can't,
from the leader.
you can't follow from the front. Can you follow from the front?
well, you can learn.
Can you? Why would I ask you something you don't want? Can you follow from the front? I didn't ask whether or not you
Okay,
can
what
learn.
do you mean by that?
In terms of positioning,
Okay.
where does the follower stand in the positioning to a leader? Does he stand in front of him or does he stand behind him? So does that make them equal? How are you gonna be equal with somebody that you're behind?
Like that?
If we're in a race and you're behind me, I cross the finish line at 10 seconds flat, you cross the line at 10.1 seconds. Are we equal? No, I'm faster than you.
By 1 second.
What do you say? He said you ask any racer, any real racer.
Let's like
No matter where you went by, inch or
Say we
mile,
did like a-
winning is winning.
When I say we did like, what is this called again?
I don't like to
test
compete.
your strength.
I'm not a competitor.
Yeah, arm wrestle.
Yeah, it's like that. Like,
Yeah.
I only
I'm stronger
compete
than
against myself.
you know?
So you don't like the what?
I only compete against myself.
You only compete against yourself? Well, I'm gonna tell you this. If you only compete against yourself, that makes sense. That's more of a feminine thing. Fair, I'll give you that. But when you want to start talking about masculinity, what
I
runs
can't
this,
really talk because
what-
I'm not masculine.
you're not masculine, which is what runs this entire planet Earth. It's about who's better than who. You want to know why? Because in order for your ancestors to have this country, and to allow you to even be brought up and born in this place, it had to establish its dominance over another species.
Yeah, they didn't think we were equal.
That was sad.
Because it's not about whether or not they thought it. They weren't supposed to. They came over here. They won. My bad. They did it by trickery. They did it by trickery, but they won. And we ain't hating.
And they was like, we ain't equal.
We ain't hating. And guess what? We ain't hating, so they shouldn't hate when we get ours.
They will though.
Oh, they can hate all they want.
After they will,
They can
that's
hate all they
inevitable.
want. But again, you know how that was able to take us down? They had to divide us and split us up. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, they did.
When we start to work together, which is everything that we've sitting there saying, we start to work together, and not even have opportunity.
Right now we are split up, you know, just as black people. I'm just saying.
Listen, light, dark, old, young, man, woman, Democrat, Republic, rich, poor, this street versus this street, blood, Crips, vice lords, and goddamn
You going all the way over
BDs,
there.
God's
GDs,
last name is
folks,
Lockdown.
folks,
I hate that.
Latins, Puerto Ricans, cartel, Colombians, I mean everything. It's so many classism. It's so many different things that separate us.
Yeah.
You know why? We all trying to be American. You know how we feel about America? America.
That's
right.
That's right.
To hell with America. America's gonna be destroyed by thermonuclear missiles.
Done.
I think it's big China.
You said when? We don't know the day. We don't know the hour. But we know that it's not scary. You want to know why? Because now you have the knowledge to escape such judgment that's coming to this place. That's the salvation that who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ has brought into you. You just got to take advantage of it. And the way that you take advantage, you stop telling God what He got to accept, and you start accepting what He told you have to accept.
And that's
I
right.
know, that's why I'm going to leave here with today. Stop telling God what I'm going to do. He's not going to
Give me one.
For all his sons and his daughters won't fill the cities with faces. Iniquities of they father, bloodthirstiest of our nation. Not for living water, waiting to put that work in. Hamashiach give us that order, prepare slaughter. For all his sons and his daughters won't fill the cities with faces. Iniquities of they father, bloodthirstiest of our nation. Not for living water, waiting to put this work in. Hamashiach give us that order.